A man is shot in the head outside a popular Lexington bar. We're tracking the search for the shooter.
This is a 400-pound animal that is so incredibly powerful.
The Cincinnati Zoo is getting backlash for killing a gorilla so they could save a child, while other zoos say they made the right choice. And a special Memorial Day service to honor those who died during the country's Civil War.
Extremely important 4 years in our history.
How a group honored those troops today.
This is WKYT News.
A scary scene outside a Lexington bar overnight. You're watching WKYT. I'm Sean Moody in for Kristen Kennedy tonight. One man is in the hospital after police say he was shot outside Saddle Ridge Bar early this morning. Police aren't releasing many other details, but they tell us they're still searching for the person responsible. WKYT's Mike Beyer is tracking the investigation in our top story.
I'm outside of Saddle Ridge Bar where a man was shot in the head during the overnight hours. Lexington police are now trying to find the person who pulled the trigger. Just after 2:30 this morning, police tell us they responded to a disorder call with a weapon and reports of shots fired. When they arrived to this parking lot in the 1000 block of South Broadway, officers found a young man shot in the head. Police tell us the man was rushed to UK hospital in serious condition. As of right now, we do not know his condition. Now, I spoke with a person who is close friends with the victim. She didn't want to go on camera, but she says the young man was trying to break up a fight when he was shot. Police tell us there are lots of witnesses and that they're questioning several of them to find out if that's the case and what exactly led to the shooting. Now, police couldn't give us a description of the shooter, but they do know that person fled the scene in a white Chevy Malibu. Now, I've spoken with several people who work in this plaza. None of them wanted to go on camera. They all tell me this is normally a safe area and that this shooting has left them in complete shock. In Lexington, Mike Beyer, WKYT.
No one else was injured in the shooting. Police have not released the name of the victim. We're tracking a developing story out of Texas tonight. Police in Houston say 2 people are dead and several others injured after a shooting there this afternoon. Police say there were 2 armed suspects involved. One was killed and the other injured. Police believe one suspect was shot by the other and that the second was shot by a SWAT officer. The second person who died was found inside a vehicle. Police say the people who were injured include 2 officers. An update tonight to a story we've been tracking out of southern Ohio. The Cincinnati Zoo has temporarily closed its gorilla exhibit. On Saturday, a special zoo response team shot and killed a 17-year-old gorilla that had grabbed and dragged a 4-year-old boy who fell into that exhibit. That little boy was taken to the hospital to be checked out. He has since been released from the hospital. The zoo director says his team shot the gorilla because they decided that boy was in a life-threatening situation. Officials from the Miami Zoo say that the gorilla was on loan from them to the Cincinnati Zoo, and they say the zoo made the right decision in shooting him.
This is a 400-pound animal that is so incredibly powerful. I've seen gorillas take coconuts in their own 2 hands and break them. This gorilla was dragging around this young child. In one split second, it could have just banged its head against a rock or whatever and caused a fatal injury to that child. The zoo really had no choice.
This afternoon, PETA released a statement about the gorilla's death. It said in part, quote, "Yet again, captivity has taken an animal's life. The gorilla enclosure should have been surrounded by a secondary barrier between the humans and the animals to prevent exactly this type of incident," end quote. We've got the full statement right now on WKYT.com if you'd like to read it. Also new tonight, a man faces charges in connection with the home invasion in southern Kentucky. Deputies say Gregory McGuire stopped at a home on Chestnut Grove Road in Brodhead asking about a bug light there on the property. They tell us McGuire tried to force his way into the home, but then they say he was stopped when a woman inside the home hit him with a guitar. They say McGuire was still at the house when deputies arrived. They believe he was under the influence. He has been booked into the Rockcastle County Jail. Lexington police are looking for the person who broke into a pizza restaurant overnight. Police say around 3:30 this morning, someone broke out the front window of Brooklyn Pizza on Keithshire Way. They believe that person stole cash from the register. The owner said they noticed the window when they went to open the store today. Police are still looking over surveillance video from inside. Firefighters in Clark County are piecing together what caused a fire early this morning in Winchester. The fire chief there tells us the fire started in a bottom apartment around 4 o'clock at the Grandview Apartments on Oxford Drive. The fire was contained to that unit. A bedroom inside that unit suffered extensive damage, but nobody inside was injured. The people who live in the unit, though, cannot stay there tonight. Part of a Lexington family involved in a deadly crash last weekend in Texas is now back in Kentucky. Vivian Avalar says her 11-year-old sister, who was seriously injured in that crash, has now been transferred to Kentucky Children's Hospital. The two of them arrived in Lexington yesterday. Vivian says that her mother, who was also injured, is expected to be flown to Cardinal Hill this week. Vivian's father, Israel, and her 3 brothers, Kevin, Daniel, and Matthew, were all killed in that crash. Kerr Brothers Funeral Home in Lexington is handling the funeral arrangements. And a Morehead State University police officer injured in a crash last week is making some big strides in his recovery. Police say Sergeant Anthony Dalton had just finished his shift and was heading home when his motorcycle crashed. They said he was thrown off that motorcycle and suffered serious head injuries, even though he was wearing a helmet. Dalton is at UK Hospital, and his sister says his feeding tubes and some wires have been removed. They also say he's been talking more this afternoon. Another warm and muggy day across the Bluegrass, but we could catch a slight break for Memorial Day tomorrow. WKYT's Mike Linden has an early look at your holiday forecast.
Sean, it's still pretty muggy as we head into this evening as well. We're just holding on to all of this tropical moisture right here in the Bluegrass that's made its way northward from the Gulf of Mexico. A little breezy outside right now as well, looking toward the downtown Lexington area, but you can really see that haze along the horizon. That's all that moisture trapped close to the surface. And we are seeing it firing up in a few spots. We look at southeastern Kentucky and right here over the northwestern portion of the state, and that's where we're finding right now some heavy rain and lightning moving into the Bluegrass. Also toward the Bluegrass Parkway west there, starting to see some storms firing up as well. Over southeastern Kentucky, things are improving, but we are still finding pockets of active weather closest to the southeastern mountains, and that's going to continue through the evening hours here. We have a cold front moving in from the northwest that's going to trigger this active pattern as we head into the evening hours and into Memorial Day tomorrow and the remaining days of May. Well, it's going to continue to be quite active. Coming up, I'll put a track on these storms, show you when they should show up, where they should show up, and Sean, how long they should stick around for.
All right, Mike, thank you. For a lot of people, Memorial Day traditions involve barbecues and beach trips, but of course the holiday's history is a lot more meaningful than that. The tradition began back during the Civil War, and a group of Central Kentuckians is making sure fallen soldiers from even the earliest wars are still recognized this weekend. WKYT's Hillary Thornton has more from the Civil War Memorial Day service in Richmond.
The ceremony held out here at the Richmond Cemetery is one that is a little bit different than the majority of the services going on throughout this Memorial Day weekend, with this one focusing on the soldiers lost during the Civil War.
Memorial Day is a time to remember soldiers of war who did not return home. The ceremony in Richmond dedicated to remembering those killed in the American Civil War, whether they were fighting for the Confederacy or as a Union soldier. Taking those at the ceremony back to 1862, when a portion of the Battle of Richmond was fought on the very ground where the service was held. A Civil War monument now sits as a reminder of what happened at the site, where nearly 250 Union troops rest, as well as more than 175 soldiers from the South.
It's Memorial Day weekend, which itself is very special. Not too many people do Civil War memorials. Extremely important 4 years in our history that changed this country immensely.
A part of our nation's history, those here taking time to remember, placing a flower on the Civil War monument, remembering those who lost their lives in battle in this very cemetery.
This was the second time these groups put on this ceremony. They say they plan to do so every other year. In Richmond, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Some descendants of Civil War soldiers were at today's ceremony. Some of them came from far away as Texas to be there. Still ahead on WKYT News, neighbors in southeastern Kentucky are forced to clean up a big mess from a massive mudslide. We'll take a look at the damage.
It's shocking to see, but it's a lesson. to save their young lives.
You cannot put a price on the life-saving lessons that they've learned.
Learning to Survive, Monday at 6 on WKYT.
I don't want to be alone.
All right, come and get it. Here we go.
With more selection and savings, you can put more on the grill at Meijer.
There are so many things I love about summer. It's when I met my best friend. And we did everything together. We celebrated America, and we made great memories. He even helped me find new friends. And now, when we get to see each other again, it's the best feeling in the world. Have a summer to remember from your friends at Kroger.
Please pay attention to this time-sensitive medical alert from the Becker Law Office. It may apply to you. If you had the Assure permanent birth control device implanted by your doctor and have suffered complications, listen carefully. If you've experienced abdominal pain, autoimmune disorders, device displacement or breakage, or severe pelvic pain, you may be owed damages. Call today. This is a time-sensitive issue and we want to make sure you get all you deserve.
Call the Becker Law Office for a free evaluation.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
For people with heart failure, tomorrow is not a given. But Entresto is a medicine that helps make more tomorrows possible.
Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow.
In the largest heart failure study ever, Entresto helped more people stay alive and out of the hospital than a leading heart failure medicine. Women who are pregnant must not take Entresto. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren. If you've had angioedema while taking an ACE or ARB medicine, don't take Entresto. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high potassium in your blood.
Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow.
Ask your heart doctor about Entresto and help make tomorrow possible.
You're only a day away.
This is how Precision listens. Bose microphones that hear engine noise, then counter it with the sound-canceling frequency, which helps make the cabin so quiet, you don't miss a thing.
Night, Dad.
Good night, kiddo.
It's called Active Noise Cancellation, and it's available in the new, meticulously crafted 2016 Sierra from GMC. This is the precision of professional grade.
Now get nearly $9,000 below MSRP on select 2016 Sierra 1500 models in stock. Visit your Bluegrass GMC dealer today.
With more selection and savings, puppies are even more lovable at Meijer.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you, like WKYT on Facebook. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden.
Our Sunday rolls along with stormy and steamy conditions, and it looks like we'll stay that way right into the holiday tomorrow. Right now, we look across the state, still seeing plenty of humidity, especially in Lexington, right along the horizon there, looking toward downtown. It certainly doesn't feel comfortable outside in most spots as the humidity has run rather high, feeling a little tropical, I should say, simply because of all that moisture coming in from the south and working its way northward. In fact, we're already and still have been seeing some thunderstorms firing up too. Right along the southeastern mountains, things have calmed down a little bit. Now just some leftover rain showers, but we look toward western Kentucky, now working its way toward the E-Town area and along the BG Parkway. We are seeing some lightning and heavy rain moving into the bluegrass. With all of this tropical moisture from the south and a cold front to our northwest, we are just getting in on a pop-up trend here, and this has been the case for the past several days. But today and into the evening hours, this cold front going to wedge underneath that moisture and lift it higher into the atmosphere, thus giving us those pop-up showers. Now, of course, with that tropical moisture, we're also getting the warmth too, still holding on to the mid to low 80s. 86 in Frankfurt right now. We are really holding on to that warmth at the surface, and we will continue to stay above normal even into the evening hours too. Now check this out. Overnight tonight, not really falling back very far. 72 by 11 o'clock this evening, and then into tomorrow morning, we're right back at the mid to low 80s by the afternoon. So very similar, a carbon copy almost as what we saw this weekend. And as far as the active weather goes, watch this. We'll start you off at 8 o'clock this evening. There is that cold front cutting across the bluegrass and bringing with it just one last shot of showers into the late evening hours. We move into tomorrow afternoon, though, when most are going to be outside, whether it be at any Memorial Day services or at a barbecue, what have you. If you're going to be outdoors tomorrow afternoon, this is what you might run into. So essentially, right along central Kentucky is the cutoff, and then east and southeastward, we're talking about some showers. If you're heading to the Lake Cumberland area, you could also be looking at some scattered showers, too, into the afternoon. And with the way the atmosphere is set up, quite potentially some pop-up thunderstorms as well. Into Monday evening, temperatures holding on to the upper 70s, much like what we'll be dealing with tonight, but it doesn't look so great on the 7-day forecast there. But bear in mind, this isn't going to be a washout, just complete heavy rain, just inundated with wet weather, Sean. This is going to be your run-of-the-mill pop-up afternoon thunderstorms. That is until we get into the middle of the work week. Wednesday, Thursday has the potential to feature some storms a little stronger. But if you plan on being outside for Memorial Day tomorrow, at least have a backup plan just in case. Could be rain, or it could even be those thunderstorms. It really all depends. The atmosphere is just right for the picking right
But it
now.
won't ruin the whole day. It's just it'll come, it'll go.
Things will be moving pretty quickly, and with the nature of these pop-up storms, they'll be there, and then they should go away rather quickly into the afternoon and evening.
Thanks, Mike. Dozens of people in Perry County are cleaning up after a mudslide late last night. You see all that mud there coming down the hillside. It came down a mountain and hit the Harborly neighborhood. Mud covered driveways and roads in the area today. Some people said the mud almost wiped out their homes.
And I've never seen anything like this happen. I was told that like around 1 or 1:30, part of the mountain came off.
Now, some of the people who live there say they think it's just a matter of when the next strong slide will come back down that mountainside. What is next for former Wildcat Marcus Lee? He is narrowing in on a decision.
Yes, according to a report today, Lee will visit a school Tuesday and expected to tell them he's joining the team. Plus, coming up, a prized recruit for Mark Stoops turns his attention to football.
Get the credit approval you deserve at the all-new Big M Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Nicholasville. If you have a job and $199, you can be approved today. During the Drive and Discover event 2016, Jeep Cherokee's $199 a month. Visit BigMSuperstore.com.
A season pass to Kentucky Kingdom is only $59.95. And with benefits like free parking and dollar drinks, a season pass pays for itself in just one visit. And enjoy the rest of the summer for free. Stop by your local Kroger store to get yours today. But hurry, offer ends soon.
Fire up the grill this week with fresh Purdue boneless chicken breasts for just $1.99 a pound. And whole seedless watermelons are $3.99 each at Kroger.
Have you ever wanted to learn how to take care of your bike? Or sharpen knives? What about how to defend yourself? Now you can. First, go to the Central Library on June 4th. Second, pick up a program to find the sessions you want to attend. Third, go to the sessions. It's that simple. There are sessions on genealogy, origami, urban chickens, and many more. For a complete list, check out lexpubliv.org/how.
Value City Furniture presents How to Know When It's Time. First, look for a sign that it's time to buy new furniture. Any sign? At all. Then, follow the signs to the Memorial Day sale at Value City Furniture. Hurry in for free delivery, plus 48 months no interest financing when you spend $19.99 and up. Perfect. And that's how to buy the perfect piece at Value City Furniture.
Hey, you want to go for a ride?
We showed these everyday experts,
Police officer. Paramedic.
the value of Nissan's intelligent safety shield technologies, like forward emergency braking that could stop your car for you. Save even more with holiday bonus cash this Memorial Day during Nissan's Safety Today event. For a limited time, save up to $1,250 on the 2016 Nissan Rogue with $500 Memorial Day bonus cash.
Where can I buy it? Hey, sign me up.
Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com today.
the final days of our Off to the Races sale here at One Day Bath by America's Window. Transform your bathroom with a new beautiful bath or shower. Final days to save up to 20% on your new bath or shower. Ask about our 0 down and 0 interest option for 12 months. Plus, act now and receive a $500 discount certificate good towards your next purchase. You're always a winner at One Day Bath by America's Window.
Save thousands at the all-new Big M Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Nicholasville, where you get 25% off MSRP on all the remaining new 2015s in stock. That's up to $14,000 off MSRP. Make the short drive to Big M Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram today.
All indications continuing to point towards Cal as the landing spot for Marcus Lee. CBS Sports reporting today that Lee will visit the school Tuesday and is expected to commit. According to a source in that story, unless something crazy happens, he's going to Cal. Lee will have to sit out next season as a transfer and will be eligible to play one season after that. It is a trend in college football. Incoming freshmen get on campus and join the team as quickly as possible. 4 members of the class of 2016 for Kentucky graduated high school early so they could enroll at UK in time for spring practice. But Lafayette's Landon Young, not among them. 5-star offensive tackle wanted to enjoy his final semester as a high schooler, a journey that ended on Saturday when he won a gold and a silver in the throwing events at the state track and field meet. Young has long been credited for being a leader among this recruiting class coming to Kentucky, and although he wasn't among the first to get on campus, he has been around the guys and continues to feel really good about the group.
You know, I feel like this 2016 class is one of the tightest knit classes that we've had at UK in a long time. You know, I think, to tell you the truth, it's one of the tightest knit classes in the nation as a whole. But just all of us know each other really well. All of us aren't scared to say, send each other a text and say, hey, how you doing? You know, how's football going? How's training going? Stuff like that. And I think that separates us from a lot of different classes around.
It was the Henry Clay boys that won the state championship in 3A track. Boyle County girls, Mercer County boys winning in 2A, Lexington Christian boys taking home the 1A title. The Summer Olympics just 68 days away, and don't be surprised if former UK track star Kendra Harrison emerges as one of these stories from Rio. Saturday at the Prefontaine Classic, Harrison breaking the U.S. record in the 100-meter hurdles, the second fastest time of all time, just 2/100ths of a second off a 27-year-old world record. 1 year ago, actually on that very same track, Harrison won a national title for Kentucky. Now she looks like one of the best in the world.
In my head, I knew I'd just keep my head down for the first 2 steps, sweep my arms, and, you know, just do what I do when I go over the hurdles.
And to do so against this field, thinking about the Olympic trials, which would be the most difficult, and then potentially the games, what do you think about all the possibilities for all of those different scenarios?
I don't know what's to come, but, you know, I just like to thank God. You know, I'm healthy, and I feel great, and I'm ready to go.
The Reds snapped an 11-game losing streak in Milwaukee on Saturday. Second inning today. Jay Bruce, 9th of the season, tied it up at 1. In the third, it was all square at 2. It's Jonathan Lucroy. The RBI single, that's off Brandon Finnegan. Finnegan would go 6 1/3, 4 earned. Reds would score twice the 9th inning, but needed to score 3 times. Still yet to win a road series this season. Milwaukee wins today 5-4. SEC Tournament Championship on the line in Alabama. 1-2 in all of college baseball. Florida and Texas A&M. In the 6th inning, Danny Reyes right back up the middle. Gators would take the lead. They would increase it to 5-3, but A&M would change that in a 2-pitch span. 4 runs in just 2 pitches. J.B. Moss, the 2-run double down the left field line. And the next pitch, it's Nick Banks. His second home run of the game, and the floodgates would open after that. The Aggies with their first SEC tournament title coming out of the loser's bracket to do it. They win 12-5. Of course, Kentucky will learn its postseason fate tomorrow. The 64-team tournament field split into 16 regionals, announced Monday at noon. Kentucky on the bubble and certainly did not help themselves, losing their only game this week at the SEC tournament. Kentucky golf team at the NCAA championship. After today's round, the field of 30 will get cut in half to 15. Not looking good right now for UK in a tie for 17th. Cats did go out early, so about half the schools still on the course. Kentucky 2 strokes from that cut line in 15th. They are done for the day. We'll have to wait and hope. Top individuals for Kentucky: Cooper Musselman at the top, 3 over round today, 3 over rather for the tournament after an even par round of 70 today. And the 100th running of the Indy 500, lap 64, on board with Juan Pablo Montoya, and he is going for a ride. Former Sprint Cup driver, last year's winner of this race, is out. The winner this year, it was a rookie, Alexander Rossi from California, that gambled on fuel strategy, had just enough to get over the line. And Sean, what do you do after a long road trip? You, me, any of us, just slam a little milk.
Absolutely.
Well, it's tradition.
Go crazy, get chocolate milk. Who knows?
Just let it rip. 350,000 people there today to watch that event.
Unbelievable. And like you said, they had enough to get across the finish line, but not much further.
Had to push it into the winner's circle, but who cares?
Hey, as long as you cross that line, for sure. Thanks, Brett. Well, we will be right back with more WKYT news on your late version of the 6 o'clock news.
Save at the Men's Warehouse Memorial Day sale. Buy one, get one free on most sport coats, dress slacks, dress shirts, and sportswear. Plus, all designer jeans are 2 for $100, and select designer suits are $249.99. Men's Warehouse. Rise to the occasion.
On Tuesday, I buried my dentures under 23 tons of cement. And I really freaked out because I needed my mouth for a very important event. So I called Aspen Dental, got in right away, and they made my new choppers in just a few days. And thanks to that service, I'm happy to say, I ate the most hot dogs in history today.
With dentures starting at just $3.99 and ready in days, not weeks. Dentistry's never been easier. Call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL.
The Memorial Day sale is happening now at Sleep Outfitters. Enjoy 0% financing for 6 years and savings up to $600 on the best brands in bedding, including Visa prepaid gift cards up to $400 on select Tempur-Pedic purchases. Get this Sealy Pillow Top Queen set with gel foam on sale for just $4.99 plus a free TV. 0% for 6 years, free TVs, free gift cards, and free upgrades. It's all happening now during the Memorial Day sale at Sleep Outfitters.
It's the final days of your local Ford dealer's Memorial Day All-Star event. Hurry in to save on America's best-selling brand. For a limited time, get 0% financing for 60 months on almost every Ford, plus up to $2,750 cash on select models, and make no payments for 90 days. Save big on a fantastic lineup of All-Stars. Final days, 0 for 60, and up to $2,750 cash. But hurry, it all ends this coming Tuesday.
CareSource insures thousands of members in Kentucky, but we're not built on numbers. We're built on compassion and care. Our commitment? People over profit. CareSource, caring for the Commonwealth.
I'm Hannah Hornback, and this is my family. My dad works hard to grow our popcorn. So does my twin brother Ben. We all do. When you buy Kentucky Proud, you're helping to support farm families like mine. Look for Kentucky Proud popcorn from Preferred Popcorn and other Kentucky Proud products available every day at Kroger.
Bring home Kentucky Proud Preferred Popcorn. It's on sale now, 2 for just $3. And Field or Fisher's hot dogs are 10 for $10 at Kroger.
If your child has been bullied, injured, or abused, please call one of our child advocates right now. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Save at the Men's Warehouse Memorial Day sale. Buy one, get one free on most sport coats, dress slacks, dress shirts, and sportswear. Plus, all designer jeans are 2 for $100, and select designer suits are $249.99. Men's Warehouse. Rise to the occasion.
Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot, $235 million. Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot, $100 million. Almost enough to buy a nice string of nice warm weather days.
If only that's how it worked, right? Then I think a lot of people around here would chip in for some good weather. But it looks like into Memorial Day Monday, muggy once again, and a chance for some pop-up thunderstorms into the middle of the day. If you do plan on being outside in southern and southeastern Kentucky, at least have a backup plan just in case.
All right, thanks for joining us. The next newscast is at 11. We will see you then.